My name is Antoine Mordican. I'm the CEO of Native Black Cultivation. I'm also the CEO of Native Black Farm, and we're on track to make history here in the state of Alabama. What started me and inspired me to start a medical cannabis cultivation business, I jumped off into the aspect of agriculture. For the past decade now, I've been studying cannabis on the wealth of uses that cannabis can be used for, from textiles, from remediation, from energy, from fuel, from medicinal purposes and things like that. I understood that cannabis was going to be the next cash crop. And I started to do some research on hydroponic farming, and I understand that hydroponic farming or indoor farming was going to become a need just due to the seasons and things was changing. So I kind of just went down that spiral, went down that rabbit hole, did a bunch of researching, and ultimately ended up finding my farm, Native Black Farm, where I've been able to cultivate hemp for the last 2 years for the purpose of smokable CBD flower. The challenge I face entering the cannabis industry is really folks taking me serious, understanding that I'm really here for a purpose and that I'm really here to get the job done, that I'm really here to compete, and that I'm really here to be able to secure a license. And how I end up overcoming those challenges is really doing the work, putting myself in position to win, collaborating, connecting with people and like-minded individuals that wanted to see me win, that wanted to be able to give me the wisdom and knowledge that I need to be able to come together and thrive here in Alabama, by ultimately bringing together a community of people and uplifting them and bringing that information to them that they may be able to get into the space as well. So it's very challenging, doing something that's not traditional. It's a conversation that's kind of taboo, especially when we're talking about cannabis here in the state of Alabama. However, cannabis has been cultivated here in Alabama for a couple years now, and now that we have the medical bill now, the medical law now, we have a wealth of opportunities that's coming. We have a wealth of economic stimulation that's coming. So, I'm up for the challenge with a lot of things that is to come. However, the biggest challenge that I have, of course, capital is always a challenge. However, but I believe the position I don't work myself into, I'll be able to find those individuals that believe in my vision, that have the money in the backing, that would like to support. I could talk about some other things that I like to do. How I already support my community and uplift the youth. The Mordican, my nonprofit organization, the Mordican Foundation, which was founded in 2018, that gives out scholarships to graduating seniors that's going to accredited HBCUs. And what I plan on implementing once I become a owner in the medical cannabis space, as well as a license holder, I plan on creating a pipeline of interns and co-ops from HBCUs that are interested in getting into the cannabis space, while also going back to the underserved community and creating workforce incubators to be able to give them the skills and the talent that they need to be able to work and thrive in the industry while they try to figure out whatever it is that they want to do in the industry, but just ultimately just exposing them to it and letting them know that it's the opportunity that we have in this industry that they can come and work. As Black people, we tend to be looked at as, as labor and consumers. However, we are so much more than that. We are owners. I see the cannabis industry evolving tremendously here in the next couple years, just due to the fact that cannabis can be used for a wealth of things. As of right now, we're kind of just talking about medical and possibly recreational and the combustion and the medical side of it. However, hemp and cannabis in itself can be used for so much, so we can expect for the industrial industry to pop off and to grow and expand. We can expect the hemp industry to continue to grow. We can expect a lot of expansion that's to come. So how I plan on preparing to get myself into position and planning on scaling and growing as this industry continues to evolve and grow is to be on the front end of it, to be on the cutting edge of it, to be those in the room, to be able to encourage those changes, to be able to promote and and push for those changes, and ultimately getting more people involved so that other people can become aware of it and that they can also see what cannabis can be used for, and they may come up with a unorthodox way of being able to use cannabis. Cannabis can be used for so much. It can be used to clean our air. It can be used to clean our soil. It can be used to clean our water. We can make clothing out of it. We can make energy out of it. We can make fuel out of it. We can make feed out of it. Nothing of the cannabis plant goes to waste. So once we step away from the taboo conversation or what everybody like to use cannabis for is for the medical and the recreational and the combustion and the consumption version of it. Once we really tap into the endless potentials of cannabis, I think we're really going to see the industry explode. My company is pretty unique here in the state of Alabama. Native Black Farm, we're probably one of the few black-owned and most importantly, hydroponic cultivating companies here in the state of Alabama. As I tell folks, I'm a farmer, but I'm not your traditional farmer. I'm a farmer of the future. And with my background being in engineering, I uniquely engineer a drip to drain system where it's recirculating. I'm able to control the temperature. I'm able to control um, the irrigation, the feeding cycle, and things like that to be able to produce and create an environment where I'm able to produce a premium quality product. So a lot of that information and technology that I have gained throughout the years of studying and ultimately just being in the industry, visiting different states, visiting other cultivation facilities and learning about how they do their thing and seeing how I can be able to not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but how can I implement those wisdom and knowledge and technology into the system that I already have and be able to create something that's amazing that Alabama will be able to benefit from. So Alabama is real unique. I made sure to integrate a lot of black ownership into my application once I applied for a medical cannabis license. Within the application, I made sure that I went out and seek black ownership that was going for other applicants and other licenses, such as secure transportation, such as processing, such as dispensary, such as vertically integrated, such as lab testing. I made sure that I had black ownership in every sector of my application so that if I am awarded a license and if they are awarded a license, we'll be able to thrive together and do business together in some form of some capacity as we continue to grow and develop the medical cannabis industry here in Alabama. How my company is unique here in the state of Alabama when it comes down to medical cannabis cultivation. I've been cultivating hemp for the past 2 years hydroponically, which here in the state of Alabama, we don't have many farmers that choose to cultivate that way. We have a few, but not many. And that cutting edge technology will already put me a step ahead of the competitors, as well as I ultimately give the information and knowledge back to those that aspire and curious on getting into the industry. What it is that I'm doing here in the state of Alabama, I hope to be able to create a template that other farmers will be able to follow, that other black farmers will be able to follow, and those that are inspired to enter the space here in Alabama, they'll be able to follow and be able to mimic the moves in the technology in the way that I cultivate and how I chose to go about making sure that my positioning was solid here in the state of Alabama, while also just encouraging others to be able to chase their unorthodox dreams. My company plans to grow and scale tremendously. As of right now, the company is only focused on cultivation since that's the license that we're going for. So the goal is to ultimately become vertically integrated. Our goal and future plans to be one of the most recognizable and trustworthy brands coming out of Alabama that everybody here in the state and outside of the state would know and be able to trust Native Black Cultivation.